As-Salaam Alaykum. Last week, we read some comments on the question, is there a perfect relationship? And we received some comments which shows that there's actually no perfect relationship, which is actually obvious. So today, we have our brother Ali Ahmad, who will be answering some questions on halal dating, matchmaking in Islam, and how intended spouses can make their relationships halal. I'm Abdul Majid, and welcome back to Ramadan Pep Talk. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you for finding time to join us today. This is really appreciated. So, our first question, what do you think about halal dating and matchmaking in Islam?
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Ya Sheikh Abdul Majid, thank you very much for having me on this year's Ramadan pep talk. The aspect of halal dating, in the contemporary world, there are some people who disguise some words as halal dating in Islam and the likes. But following the real doctrine of Islam and Sunnah, if you are going to have a supposed spouse, there wouldn't be a long period of time for dating and the likes, because once you have interest in an individual for marriage, that is a supposed spouse, there are some preliminaries which Islam has set place for, which the individual is meant to follow. That is, first of all, having the intention to get married to this person. Secondly, meeting the guardian of this supposed spouse that is left to you as a male. Then third, you ask, all these things will be done in a short period of time. The supposed halal dating, which people disguise with these days, is trying to adulterate one or two things regarding Islam. So yes, regarding matchmaking in Islam, yes, in Indonesia, it is rather called Islam halal matchmaking, or they call it halal dating. Is a system where individuals who look for spouse but don't have the means to get a spouse when they are ready to get married, but seek for platforms to help them look for spouse who may also be ready to get married. In Islam, according to Islam, such an act is also permissible, in the sense that once you're ready, there might also be another individual who is ready, a man who is ready and a woman who is ready, and the platform, an Islamic platform built or created to join both of them together to have a halal marriage. And like I said earlier, that getting married has to be done within a short or limited period of time, and this matchmaking, halal matchmaking, like I say, is also very permissible, because in the outside world too, some Islamic nations practice this form of source of marriages and the rest.
Okay, so what questions do you think intending spouses need to ask each other before trying to settle into a relationship?
And questions that needs to be asked before marriage. First of all, before getting married, using the doctrines of Islam, your supposed spouse, you as a person needs to know one or two things about your spouse, your supposed spouse, and they themselves need to know one or two things that they need to know from you. Secondly, the questions that are meant to be asked, maybe when you have a conversation with your supposed spouse, questions like, how do you see us in the next 5 to 10 years as a family? Secondly, you are supposed to know your spouse's relationship with their own family. If they have a good relationship with their family or their siblings, their parents, that will give you a signal that your supposed spouse is going to have one good relationship with you too. And also, in the modern day, that we have the issue of DNA, genotype, and the likes. You wouldn't want to fall victim of or play the gamble of getting married to the wrong genotype. So you have to ask your spouses, know the status of your spouse's genotype, even if it means going to make a test before proceeding with the talks of marriage. I think these questions are the important questions that an individual is supposed to know about their spouses.
MashaAllah, mashallah. So at least these questions are really paramount, and couples do need to ask this before actually getting into a relationship. Now finally, brother, what do you think couples need to do to make their relationships halal as much as possible?
Yes, we can understand that after following the due protocols of Sunnah, which is the nikah, then the couples who are already married can follow the Islamic rulings on marriage, which has to do with piety, sympathy, helping one another in difficult time, and trying as much as possible to avoid misunderstanding, which may lead to the word called talaq, that is divorce in Islam. Like I said, Allah has said, talaq is halal, but it is one thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never likes. Even though it is permissible, it is one thing that He never likes at all. So these initial concepts, the aspect of piety and helping one another, is the things that has to be put in place to make a marriage or a couple's relationship as halal, as steady, and as balanced as possible. I believe I've been able to answer the questions, and thank you very much once again for having me. And jazakallahu khair wa barakallahu fi.
Wow, this is actually a nice piece from our brother Ali Ahmad, and we really appreciate you for finding time to join us again today on Ramadan Pep Talk. From the little production crew from Super Ahmad Media, we really appreciate you all for tuning in again, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to spare our lives till next Ramadan, inshallah. Thank you for staying tuned. Do have a nice day, and see you guys next Ramadan. Ma salam.
And I will take care